Look, Sadiq Khan, he has been voted in yet again as Mayor of London. I said London has changed irrevocably. Since I moved here, when I was 18, I do not recognise this capital anymore. It is divided, it's divisive, the knife crime is off the scale. I don't see any police. All I see is congestion. They've actually narrowed all the lanes so that what was a dual carriageway, essentially, particularly down the highway here, has become a single carriageway. You can't go more than 20 miles an hour. It would be quicker and cheaper to buy a donkey.
Well, that's the thing. London, is not the great city that it used to be. And anyone called Sadiq Khan who seems to tell you that it is frankly lying to you. As you said in the introduction, crime is through the roof. The trains don't run. We're seeing no houses being built. We're seeing the battles about the ULEZ expansion and costs being put up, like fares and fines, charges on the Blackwall and Silvertown Tunnel, and obviously the mayor's share of council tax has gone up 71% as well. So Londoners are struggling to afford to live in London anymore, and yet we're waking up this morning to a nightmare. No, not a knighted mayor, a nightmare in itself, that Sadiq Khan is now Sir Sadiq. And I'm telling you now, I shan't be calling him that, and I definitely shan't be bowing.
No, definitely, I would agree with that. Just in terms of that, how much of this is political? I mean, it's deeply political, isn't it? But one of the things that I'm speculating is that I think Keir Starmer's position is fragile. He is watching those people who may well pose a threat to him, who may want to depose him. I would think that Sadiq Khan is one of those people who has his eye on the top job.
Well, he probably thinks that he could get the top job, but let's remember, this is the same Sadiq Khan who wasn't welcomed back into Parliament at the last general election, so decided to stand for a third term as Mayor of London. And that's the general consensus, that he wanted to come back into Parliament, but Labour frankly said no. It just is confusing that we wake up this morning and he's been given a knighthood for failure. Maybe it is a hand-me-out, maybe it's to keep him quiet. Who knows? But we're now going to get 4 years in London where he continues as mayor still. This is whilst he's still the mayor of London, of him just self-congratulating himself and rubber-stamping everything he does.
And of course, many people would say his priorities are incredibly misguided. You know, the renaming, and for those people who don't know what I'm talking about, the overground lines that run in or certainly transect with the underground have all been named, things like the Weaver Line and Windrush and so on. 6.8 million quid he spaffed up the wall doing that.
Yeah, so 7 million quid effectively to rename 6 train lines. I mean, you and I would have done it for what, half that price maybe?
Yeah,
I mean,
grand.
his track record is just failure. Crime is through the roof. He's had 140 days of strikes. When he promised us 0, he was given £7 billion in bailouts to keep the trains and buses running. He was given £4 billion to build houses as it only started 4% of them, and costs have gone through the roof. We've said about council tax, we've said about ULEZ, fines on the Silvertown and Blackwall tunnels. It just makes no sense, and there is genuine anger out there at this decision.
So that's another thing I just don't understand. Putting a tariff on the Blackwall Tunnel, which is an artery, a main artery into London, makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's a charge. It's a money grab. Just like how the ULEZ expansion to outer London was said to be about cleaning up the air, yet Sadiq Khan's own impact assessment by Jacobs said it would have a negligible impact, and there's actually parts of London where it's got worse. It is just a money grab. And this is what he does. He gaslights Londoners. He lies to Londoners straight to their face to push through his agenda. But hey, that seems to get you a knighthood nowadays.
And just in terms of the petition, I saw the petition. It was widely adopted, wasn't it?
So it's absolutely exploded. We're up to 207,000 signatures. I have had emails from people across London saying, I don't understand how he's got this. And one of the criticisms that I've had throughout this is, well, I'm only doing this because it's a Labour mayor, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely not. There were petitions against Conservatives. I mean, Gavin Williamson, for example, also got a knighthood, but his petition only got 100 signatures. This is 206,000. So let's just put that to one side. This is fully about his track record as Mayor of London, elected 3 times on a 30% turnout. You know, he is not deserve this knighthood. He doesn't deserve this, and he needs to wake up to the fact that whilst he might have got the top gong, he's actually got to get out there and start delivering for London.
I mean, what difference will your petition make? Because no one will actually pay any attention to it. The politicians aren't going to listen, are they?
No, the whole point of this petition was to give people a voice and to show him that he does not have this universal support and love that he thinks he does. And I actually challenged him at People's Question Time a couple of weeks ago, and I said, look, at that point, nearly 200,000 people have signed this petition. He just laughed. But the whole point of that was to say, Sadiq, you do not have this universal love that you think in London. There are people in London struggling because of the decisions he's made about council tax, about ULEZ, and obviously those families of teenagers who've been killed because knife crime's through the roof. It's an utter joke.
Really good to talk to you, Matthew. I wish you a very happy New Year. That's Matthew Goodwin, Freeman Conservative councillor. He was the one that created the petition to stop Sadiq Khan getting a knight.